Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. I am back today with another layout process video. This one is challenge number 2 over at the Counterfeit Kit Challenge group. And we are being inspired by another Beatles song. And if you haven't seen my first challenge and the first Beatles inspiration, I will link you up so that you can catch that. Now, today's challenge is Day Tripper, and the challenge is to take a day in a journey or a travel experience and document just that one day. Now, we're not traveling right now due to COVID. Our family is just pretty cautious about everything. So instead of documenting a travel, I am documenting an around town little adventure that we had. We visited a part of a walking trail that we had never been to before, despite it being just moments from our home. We had never explored this particular section of this trail, and we found lots of little fun bits there. So I wanted to capture this story with this kit. And I chose a bunch of papers that have movement to them, and I purposefully built my kit around papers with movement to them, and I am going to put those papers to use today. So I am building up the structure of my layout, starting with this nice dark color that is going to be the grounding for all of my photos. And when I put that paper directly against my background paper, I felt like they were competing a little too much, so I'm going to separate them out a little bit with a matte of a calmer color. Now it does have quite a print to it, but because of the whiteness and the contrast, it helps calm it down, I think, and that separates out those two competing busy papers a little bit better. And then with a calmer yet blue layer that will hold all of my photos in place, and I can build up the rest of my layout. Now I'm going to create a visual triangle with these 3 kind of craft colored pieces, 2 of them being cork tags and the other one being a little envelope. And because of the mailbox in this photo on the left and the story, I definitely wanted to use that envelope as part of my embellishing. So to dress up these little cork tags, I am creating sort of mock ribbon out of little strips of that same dark blue pattern paper. And once I have those in place, I am going to finalize the layers to this layout so that I can start getting things adhered in place. I do create kind of a little pocket with that grounding strip for my photos so that I can tuck my title tag and the other bits there around. And then I start putting pieces back in place, making sure things are going to work. I realized I needed to trim down that background piece just a little bit more, and then that will be the final selection for grounding of those photos. Now you'll see there that I do have that title that reads Happy Today on there, and I chose that out of a Pink Fresh title embellishment pack, and I have these bonus words down here on these tags that go with that. I'm actually going to end up changing that out later. Oh, right now you saw me playing with another craft tag because I wanted to balance off that upper craft with more craft in the bottom, but I realized the little cork tags are doing that job just fine. So I eliminate the other tag, and also it didn't fit. So here I am changing that title piece, and even though I liked the colors of the original title pieces better because it matched with what I was doing with the embellishment clusters, the sentiment was more accurate to what my story is about. So I went with the sentiment being more important than the color element of the story, and that is why I changed that out. And as I've been chatting, I have been building up clusters around these key elements on my layout, my title and journaling cluster up at the top, and then 2 embellishment clusters around the photos. And I chose various elements that had to do with our story. We talked about possibly biking this trail some other day, and even possibly updating our bikes to make biking more of a lifestyle choice. Let me take a pause here to say that as I was building up my title cluster, I was creating some what's called trap space. That little reddish tag that I had added to my title was too low, and it was touching the photos, creating a blockage of flow between areas of the layout. So when I moved everything up a little bit, I did have to correct some bad glue stuff. But once I've got everything moved up a bit, there's now some space under that tag, which helped with the visual flow just a little bit more. So it was worth it for me to move that. And I'm continuing to add little elements to all of my clusters as I work. These sticker sheets were from Maggie Holmes, and they're an older product, as are many of my products in my counterfeit kits. But I had these for quite a while, not really sure what I was going to do with them, but this layout was perfect for all these little woodland creatures and all these flowers because the elements were so common to what we saw on this little walk that they just fit perfectly. So I was getting really involved in adding just lots of layers of these little stickers to all my clusters. And my clusters got a little full and a little busy, but I'm okay with that because I had such a good time just playing with stickers, which, brings back the kid in me. And I know that loving stickers as a kid sure led to me loving craft supplies as an adult. So that is a part of my crafting journey. All right, I am gonna wrap up building up these clusters because I do feel like they were starting to get a little bit too busy and the photos were becoming less of a focus than the embellishments. But sometimes that's how it goes. And with the stickers finished, I add just a couple of enamel dots and then I am ready to move on. I did realize at this point that I forgot to outline my photos, and I like to do that just to help them pop a little bit more without having to worry about extra layers of pattern paper. So that was the finishing touch on this layout, and I am all done. I did go a little heavy with my embellishing this time, but I'm happy with how it came out. So as we take a look at some of these still photos, I want to thank you very much for spending your time here today. I know there's lots of choices out there on the internet, so I do appreciate you being here. I will be back in a couple of days with a Freebie Friday video, which I haven't done in a while. So if you like free sketches and free cut files, please join me on Friday for that. Until then, I hope you have an artful day.